Hello there, and welcome back to another Starfield video. This is a continuation of my Freestar Navy series. If this is your first time watching, I'll have a little annotation in the video on the top right corner, so you can go back and click on the playlist and watch it. A brief synopsis is that I had the idea of what if the Freestar Navy was a legitimate thing, because currently in game, the Freestar Navy is made up of a militia force of pretty much like civilian pilots and civilian ships. They're like a little bit above civilians, but pilots, but they're still, yeah, they're not like a fully fledged Navy like the UC. So I just thought it'd be kind of a cool idea where all three of the manufacturers in the Freestar territory, HopeTech, Stroud Eklund, and Tayo, were to put forward designs for three different variants. We've covered the corvettes and we've covered the destroyers, and now we're on to the cruisers. So today we're going to be looking at HopeTech's introduction to their cruiser design. Now a little bit of a kind of a synopsis behind the cruiser, the main kind of requirements. So the cruisers, being like cruisers in real life, they're the kind of the quintessential capital ship, the smallest capital ship usually you can find in like modern times, and in like, I know in World War II generally like that was kind of the smallest you could get. In game, the cruisers are going to kind of fill the same role. They're going to be capital ships that will be used not only for ship-to-ship combat, but also they're going to have an emphasis on planetary action. So you'll notice on some of these designs, they're going to have turrets that are downward firing, with the intention of being used to provide orbital bombardment to ground troops, as well as carry ground troops. So yeah. So let's get into it. So this is HopeTech's rendition, as you can see. HopeTech was kind of tricky because like the general layout looks quite good, but HopeTech doesn't have a whole lot of they don't have a whole lot of like structural pieces that kind of fit the bill. So I kind of had to throw some stuff together. I think I did a decent job with it. I made use of a lot of, like, say for instance, those girders, because I just imagine like with all of the HopeTech vessels, because HopeTech are kind of like the trucks in space vibe, very big kind of freighters, I just imagine they like kind of strapped some extra armor to their ships and bolted some guns and called it a day. Which, yeah. So as you can see there, we've got three types of weaponry. We've got mainly turreted on these, and then we have single firing missile pods, just because with a cruiser being quite large, I envision it like it operates less like a kind of a like a single seat fighter, like, you know, like some of the other vessels in game, and it kind of needs more of a kind of a like a support, not support, but like all of the guns kind of are firing at different targets like a proper capital ship. So we've got two of those rail guns that are pointing down. They can obviously be they can swivel 360 and stuff, so they can help with some if you're getting attacked by actual naval vessels, like not naval vessels, space warships. But they're primarily, those ones there are set up so that they can fire down on the planets. And then we've got two turreted laser batteries there, mounted in the middle there on each side. And then the front, we've got another railgun there that just kind of give you some kind of forward firing. And then obviously we have underneath, we've got a lot of, I made use of these little kind of I don't know what they're called. They're kind of like structural pieces, just to kind of lift it out a little bit. Anyway, let's get into the stats. So part of the reason, before I actually say that, so cruisers are supposed to be able to, like, they're kind of being that they're capital ships, they would operate as the flagships of specific fleets. So say for instance with the corvettes patrolling and not needing much kind of fuel or jump drive capabilities, and destroyers kind of needing a little bit for single kind of, you know, like going to different systems, cruisers will be operating for the most part away from base. So they need to have not only enough fuel for themselves, but fuel to rearm their support vessels. So it'd be quite common. I'd be in my like head, I'm thinking like that if the Freestar Navy did eventually adopt like a navy, they'd have multiple fleets of several cruisers and destroyers and maybe some corvettes, depending on. And the cruisers would carry more than enough ammunition and armaments and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, so fuel-wise, we've got 1,300 fuel. As you can see there, that's the fuel tanks on the back. That should be more than enough to keep it out and operational for long periods of time. It's got a hull of 1508. Again, like most of these, like that's going to be kind of the common kind of hull setup. It's pretty decent though. It allows it to be very tanky. Cargo capacity, we've got 775. I went with I gave this one more cargo than most because it's HopeTech. They make space trucks and it just makes sense. Which is something kind of I feel like the Freestar Council would be like considering. They'd be like, that's not a bad idea, considering this is the ship you would need extra cargo capacity, because not only would you be carrying a lot of troops for ground, like say, not invasions. I feel like the Freestar, out of like both factions, the Freestar wouldn't be the ones to do a ground-based invasion, but if they were deploying troops to assist in a planetary defense. And then for our modules, we've got a C-class reactor with 40 power, which is very nice, having that max power. Crew of 7, obviously, like, that's kind of on the lower end, but we kind of buffed that out a little bit. This being, like, a cruiser in-game, I'd like to imagine that it would have, like, well over a dozen crew members. From people on the bridge actually flying the vessel to people in the CIC controlling the various weapons, and then having like your dedicated your ground, not really ground commanders. I don't know if the CIC, someone might be able to let me know if you have any knowledge of that. I don't know if the CIC if they deal with like ground troops and stuff like that, or if like it's like a separate entity inside the ship. But either way, the idea is that this ship can do it all. We've got a jump range of 25 light years, which isn't too bad. Keep in mind, when I build these ships, I go off of whatever is available at the specific manufacturer. And I believe I went with a B-class jump drive just because it didn't feel like needing a C-class. Yeah, I did. Just because I was trying to save on space. I believe I used B-class on all of them, which is perfectly fine. Like, the destroyers are meant to be the ones that can make long-distance jumps and go hunting. These cruisers kind of go at a more slower pace, but they still get there when they need to. And then shield-wise, we've got a shield of 1215. There you can see at the back. It's quite a unique shield. I haven't really used it much on ships. This kind of goes to show when I build my ships, I usually don't frequent the HopeTech area. But I quite like it. I think it looks kind of cool. It reminds me of the... I think they're the shield generators on the Star Destroyer. I believe that's what they are above the bridge. As for weaponry, we've got 2 missile batteries mounted on the front there. I really wish there was turreted missile batteries in this game. I know it'd kind of be tricky and it would like slightly defeat the purpose, but like I kind of tried to like replicate that. That's why they're kind of mounted there. They can be used to fire forward, but I can imagine in my head I'm thinking they could also swivel to fire down. We've got those 2 laser turrets like I was saying, and then we've got the 3 ballistic turrets. Railguns, 1 in the front, 2 on the side. So yeah, if you were to make this, you go to the HopeTech, it'll cost you around 385k, probably more closer to 400k, as currently I have perks that decrease the cost. But let's purchase it and let's take a look at it. So here it is here. As you can see, it's a big beast. These are kind of just, they're greeblings. Just I kind of added them because they were the only really thing they had. What is this? An attachment point? Oh, that's actually cool. Okay, yeah, so... Okay, so, haha. I definitely intended for them there, but that actually makes sense. So kind of now I'm thinking, like, this could be, these pieces could be used to attach the corvettes to the ship if they're making, like, a longer range jump. On the back here, we've got 3 really big engines. This thing produces more than enough thrust to kind of get where it needs to go. I kind of liked how this turned out. Initially, I said in these other videos, I was initially thinking HopeTech is going to be a hard one to kind of do because of what it is. And while there was certainly challenges to it, it turned out pretty nice. So if we go in here, we've got the big HopeTech cargo bay. This is perfect too for the reasons of deploying troops. Like I could imagine you have like if these boxes were in the way, you could do like a D-Day style landing, have like 12 plus, probably more, lined up in 2 rows, getting ready to drop out. And then that landing gear is there specifically to kind of give some cover to the troops. We don't want to send them out like actual D-Day, because that would be a bit, Anyway, in we go to look at the interior. I will say it's been a while since I built this, probably before Christmas. I'm recording this just after. So let's, yeah, check it out. So first of all, we have a captain's quarters. Very nice. I'm not sure why I connected the captain's quarters to this. But I feel like being that it's a cruiser and it's going to be out more long distance, it's going to have like a dedicated like chain of command. Whereas like the Corvettes kind of just like, obviously they'd all have like a kind of a superior officer, but the cruiser officer, like the captain or the commander, he would need his own space, because if you're going to be out for so long, you have to separate yourself from the crew so that you can be an effective leader and also just have some kind of time to chill and stuff. Over here we have a workstation for all of your repairs. We're completely self-sufficient in this vessel. We've got the basic workbench, the industrial, and the weapon workbench. We don't have a research station, but I believe we have an infirmary. The docking port there. We come over this way. We have the right here. We have a science lab here, which is necessary because, like I said, we're on long distance. And it's just handy having a science lab if you need to synthesize things. Like, you never know what your troops or crew might catch out there, or what you might come across, because as you guys may know when you explore the various planets, there's a lot of different nasty things out there. A lot of nasty kind of diseases and stuff, so it's handy to have that. And then off on the other side, we have an armory here with a built-in kind of brig for if you get any unruly crew members. Quite limited on the armory. That's one of the downsides with the HopeTech stuff, is that their armory is a bit meh, but not too bad. Then if we head back this way, over here we have just the 1x1. These are just 2 storage options, just to kind of give you a bit of just some extra storage. And then if we go up to the next level, if I can jump back here, we have, this is a crew, this is our infirmary, not a crew compartment. So we have a research station there, and we have some beds for if the crew get injured and they need to kind of get some fixer-uppers. And then back here we have another 1x1 storage room that drops down to the command center, the CIC, or the battle station. Being that this is a dedicated warship and a capital ship, it makes sense you need this basically to control all the goings on, from the ship's weapons to like the incoming targets. I don't know, targets isn't the right word. What do you call it when you're not? Incoming ships, maybe? Anyway, I really like the HopeTech one. Cora is...
She's all excited about spa days.
I
wonder if they have any good...
The Freestar are very loose when it comes to requirements. Yeah, Cora's the watch officer here. She keeps everything shipshape. And then if we go over, I believe there's a door. Yeah, there's a door here. So this way, we have another control station.
For your thoughts,
Actually, this could be kind of seen more as like for the ground troops, you know, for coordinating. So I feel like it'd get a little hectic if like the CIC had to not only worry about everything going on around the ship, but they also had to worry about like ground troops. Anyway, so up we go back here, and if we come back this way, and we take this door here, we have, here we go, so we got living quarters here with some bunk beds. Obviously there's very limited bunk beds here, but you know, you gotta use your imagination a bit. Plus, on some naval vessels, I know that they like swap submarine. I think it's submarines where they don't have like well, some submarines I think they don't have like individual beds. They like, is it called hot bunking? I think that's what it is. That also sounds like a euphemism, but yeah, basically. And then finally we have the bridge. If we go up here, oh, hello Vasco. Not a lot going on with this bridge, but it kind of, you know, it fits the aesthetic. I personally really like this bridge. It's very industrial, and it does I think it does like a decent job. So you've got the pilot seat here, where you would have your helmsman, and then you've got your navigators and your like other navigators. I kind of wish that there was like a little kind of command table here for like the captain to just be kind of chilling. But I suppose you could stand here and look stoic. Anyway, I'm going to take her up and show you how she performs. Up we go. As always, I have a perk that increases my power by 5. But there is more than enough power on this vessel. I got a couple of comments saying about how, like, why did I go for, like, the more expensive upgrades and stuff. And, like, in my head I was thinking that when it comes to making the prototypes of all the different, like, manufacturers, they'd kind of want to, like, put out all the stops to try and woo the, like, say, the Freestar collective. And then, like, in doing so, they would basically get the contract, and then once, like, that's been sorted, they can then, like, work on, okay, how can we, like, make this cheaper. So weapon-wise, missiles are free firing, as you can see there. The ballistic and laser turrets are turrets, as the name suggests. You cannot fire them. So boost speed, we're going to have a boost speed of 130, which makes sense since we're using C-class engines. Boost speed of 450, that's pretty impressive. You're not going to be outrunning much, but it's good if you need to, like, kind of make some brief course adjustments. Quick little agility test. We pitch up. This thing is quite agile, which is, like, I'm pretty sure it's running max mobility. Now, you could laden this a little bit more, put some cargo and stuff to make it feel a bit more heavier. One thing I would like at some point for them to add is extra armor to the ships. Because currently in the game, when it comes to hull pieces, the only thing that really adds hulls is, like, modules and habitats. And I think it'd be cool if you could get actual pieces that mount to the ship, and they make the ship a lot heavier, but, like, have more armor. Anyway, we're going to go down to the surface now, and I'm going to show you how you build this bad boy. Alright, so here we are. We've split into 3 sections. So this is quite a simple build. It doesn't use very many, or if any, merge techniques to my knowledge. So at the top here, we'll start off. So weapon-wise, we have this Jishaku ND RF Rapid Railgun turret from Shinigami, C-Class, 1300 range, 4 fire rate, 24 hull damage, and 3 power. And that is mounted there on the HopeTech Cap A. And then we have 2 of these Reza 300 PHC SX Pulse Laser turrets from Shinigami, C-Class, 1300 range, 4 fire rate, 38 shield damage, and 4 power. And they're mounted on some HopeTech Cap A's. So for the habitat modules, we have the HopeTech Living Quarters 2x1. We have a HopeTech Companionway 1x1. We have a HopeTech Infirmary 2x1. And we have another HopeTech Companionway at 1x1. And then on top, we have the Overseer 400 Bridge from HopeTech. Gives 340 cargo and 2 crew station. Behind that, we have the Fortress A3 shield generator from Nautilus, C-Class, 11 power, 1215 shield, and 5 regen. And then for the structural pieces, we have 3 of these Cap A Port 4, or these are all the same piece, by the way. So we've got a HopeTech Cap A Port 4, a Cap A 4, a Cap A Starboard 4, and a Cap A Starboard Aft, and a Cap A Port Aft. And then we have another Port 4, another Starboard 4, another Port and Starboard 4, and then a Starboard Aft. So just to confirm, just if you guys know this, there's like 3 variants of this. So you see there's ones that place forward, ones in the middle, ones at the back, and then each of them have like different versions there. You can kind of flip them around. You can see like that. They're pretty handy pieces. Anyway, to the next part of the vessel, the middle belly of the beast. So we've got starting off here, we've got the Hope 11 Docker from HopeTech. We've got a HopeTech Workshop 2x1, Science Lab 2x1, an Armory 2x1, Captain's Quarters 2x1, Companionway 1x1, another Companionway. Back here we've got the Battle Station 2x2 and the Control Station 2x1. And then mounted on some Horizon weapon mounts, we've got 2 of these Suki Sasu 50K missile launchers from Shinigami, C-Class, 5225 range, 1 fire rate, 142.79 hull and shield damage, and 4 power. And there's 2 of them. And then on the back, obviously, we have those railguns pointed downwards. They're also mounted on some Horizon weapon mounts. At the back here, we have 2 900T Helium-3 tanks from Ballistic Solution Incorporated. They give 650 each. There is 2 of them. And then for the engines, we have 3 Supernova 2200 engines from Relodyne. C-Class, 3 power, 25,770 engine thrust, 7650 maneuvering thrust. And then for the landing gear, we have 2 of these HopeTech 55 landing gear. And then for the structural pieces, we have 2 of these weapon mounts, one each side there, mounted on the back of the kind of the armory and the science lab. Got 2 of these HopeTech pipes A mid. We've got 2 HopeTech radiators. Oh, there's a grab drive. Sorry, we've an RD 3000 basic grab drive from Relodyne. B class, 10 power, 36 jump thrust, which gives us 25 in the current configuration. We have a porthole, 2 portholes for Nova Galactic. We have 2 more Horizon weapon mounts, and then we have this pipe mid. Oh, there's actually some brief merging, which I'll show you at the end. And then on the bottom here, we have our Pinch 8Z reactor from Xi'an. C-Class, 40 power, 1350 hull, which is very nice. We've got a Hope 5 landing gear from HopeTech, 1 landing gear thrust each. We've got 2 of them, one at the front, one at the back. We've got the Hope 4 landing bay from HopeTech there. And then for our storage, we've got the Polo 2000 cargo hull from Panoptes. Gives us 435. And then for the structural pieces, we've got 2 of these HopeTech risers A there, 2 risers B, 2 more risers B there, 2 more there, B, and then 2 more A. So if we put it together, I'm just going to show you real quick. So the only real merge technique I used was this one here. So these HopeTech pipes, I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to delete this one to show you real quick. So I added this pipe here because I just like that it adds a little bit of extra structure. Because these reactors are really cool, but I don't like how like the top of them is so exposed. So in order to do this, all you do is you snap a HopeTech pipe above it, and then you press the duplicate button, and it will snap it down like that. And that's pretty much it. I'm just going to put those pieces back and do a little just... there we go, perfect. So then underneath this, I'll just show you how it like lays out. Those little pieces. Initially, I had them kind of pegged more as like kind of excess landing gear, but the fact they're attachment points is actually kind of cool. Now I could just imagine like, you know, like attaching smaller vessels to it, like berthing points. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's the HopeTech one. Tune in next time, and we will be looking at these. We have the Stroud Eklund and the Tayo. So let me know what you guys think. I know that I think I uploaded the destroyers out of order because I think I confused a few people. I do apologize for that. I was not paying attention when I uploaded them. But yeah, as always, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of content, and check out some of my other videos. Bye-bye.